NFL record for the worst completion percentage.
This is a game you need to win. This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins.
Hello and welcome back to episode 75 of i75Live.
75, yeah.
75. It was a look, it seems like we start every episode with talking about it was another great week of football. I think it was a great week of football for me.
Yeah.
But for the majority of NFL fans, we're back to
shit.
We're back to we had the Chiefs and we hated the Chiefs, and now our worst nightmare is back.
Yeah. And this time with a completely new crew. Yeah. Actually, you might know this. Are there any players on the Patriots squad that were so no players were from the past teams? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, it's brand new. I'm not going to call it a dynasty because you're
not a single one. And how
was that 4 years, Dawson? I mean,
so
I've had 4 decades. You've had 4 years.
It was
before
long
you
and
say
hard.
that, there's so many stats, and it's hilarious because I think at the beginning of the year when Drake May was playing good, scoring touchdowns. And all this, everyone was like,
there was a Drake May account going around online.
Cool. They're like, yeah, we like this guy. He's, and then all of a sudden they make it to the Super Bowl and it immediately switched. Yeah. Because now we hate him. He plays for the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots. We don't want them to be good. All this stuff. We have to hate him again. Doesn't matter what we thought. Doesn't matter how cool we thought he was and how cool his wife was on Bake Miss. Fuck all of it. He plays for the Patriots.
Bake May.
We have to hate him again.
Hey, that's what happened to Trump when Trump was running the first time. Everybody wanted him to win, and then when he won, they were like, "We hate him."
Yeah, this guy sucks. No, actually, so I think part of it is probably just because he didn't play all that great in the playoffs, and it was this kind of hyped up thing, and it was like, oh, okay, if they win, it's going to be because Drake, played like how he did in the regular season, and they beat all the teams they were supposed to beat. But then they didn't win that way. They won a different way. How playoff teams normally, not normally
good
win,
defense.
but it's a tough game. It's a tough game. Yeah, defensive stops. You're not going to make every play because the other team is just as aware as you are of how important every single play is. So with Drake May not playing the best and them still making the Super Bowl, and with, I don't know, I see both sides because imagine being a Broncos fan right now.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine.
They can't be happy.
No. Or even a Texans fan wasting that defense. And you have, I think, Dan Orlovsky had to apologize for saying it, but I think he was right that they win that game with probably almost 31 other quarterbacks.
Well, so here's my thing too, is everyone talked about how open I think the AFC was.
Wide open.
Yep. And it was going to come down with all the good defenses, with all the everything. It was going to come down to which quarterback played the best with the good defense they have to bring them to this the Super Bowl berth. And Josh Allen couldn't do it.
Yep.
Say what you want.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence, if Trevor Lawrence didn't throw an interception on that last drive, who knows what happens? They could go down, tie it, win the game. So Trevor Lawrence had an opportunity to take it.
Yep.
Couldn't. Josh Allen goes into Denver, has all the turnovers he has. He had an opportunity to win it and to take it and to go to the at least the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Now Denver's I think a little bit different story, but at the same time though, the play that I think is not getting talked about enough not kicking the field goal when the weather was great, going up 2 scores, and all of a sudden that game is 10-10 when the blizzard starts.
Oh yeah. And then it's anybody's game.
And even CJ Stroud. All you had to do is look at CJ Stroud and go, you have the best defense in the NFL right now.
Just don't turn the ball over.
Just don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And what did he do? For 2 games in a row against, he got bailed out by the Steelers because the Steelers they were terrible.
They were turning over the ball just as much as Stroud was.
So my take is you had the Patriots who are, really, really, really well coached situationally, and you see that they were able to put it together the most out of all these teams of how open it was. So to me, it's like, you can sit here and you can say, oh, schedule this and schedule that. And two things can be true. Yes, did they maybe have a little bit of an easy schedule in the regular season? Some of the teams they played, yes. Yeah. But also the golden child of the NFL this year, Matthew Stafford and all them, they played 6 of the same teams the Patriots did. Patriots went 6-0. The Rams went 4-2. Mm-hmm. So we could do this all day long and compare and contrast. And at the end of the day, the Patriots and Drake May was able to and my thing too is fantasy football and betting and all. It's ruined some of these games because ultimately it's about winning the game, is it not? Mm-hmm. It's about going to the Super Bowl. It's about just because it wasn't this sexy, he threw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, it's not like cool. Well, Matthew Stafford did that, and guess where he's watching the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, he's playing in it.
His couch.
He's on vacation.
But he had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, congrats.
So, can I say something before Dylan jumps in? So situationally, I think when you think about how well they're coached, the Patriots, do you remember when they got that kick? They tried to kick that field goal. It was super long. It was in the snow. They weren't going to make it anyway, but they had a chance. There was 1 second on the clock because Drake May ran it outside. He went down. They called timeout. Mm-hmm. That situationally shows you how that team is coached. A lot of other situations wouldn't have ended that way. The half would have been over.
I think a lot of other quarterbacks would have tried to run out of bounds.
Yes, and the time would have
ran out. Mm-hmm. Where I think, you knew you had the timeout, you knew you had to get down. Mike Vrabel was right there on the sidelines. But yes, I mean, it just comes even after the game, they were talking about they were aware of the weather. And obviously Sean Payton wasn't, because if he was, he would have viewed it as in, hey, we might not score any points in the fourth quarter. Once this weather comes in, we need to take as many points as we can. Yep. And you didn't. You decided to kind of say, we have a bigger ball sack than you and we're going for it. And look where it ended up. So to me, the whole conversation of the AFC and how open it was, the team and it was open for grabs. Mm-hmm. And the best team situationally we're going to do anything to win the game, they were able to put it together and to get to the Super Bowl. Talking about that's a whole different story, because I do think the Seahawks are great and their defense is really great. Good. But I know that Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, he's in there somewhere.
He might be.
He is in there somewhere.
He might not be.
We could talk about that later. But no, look, the Patriots as a whole, I think, of everyone saying, well, Drake May played like shit. And yes, he did not play very good in the playoffs.
No.
But he did enough for his team to win. Mm-hmm. Even in the Denver game, he did enough to not be the reason that his team lost. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's what you should want. That's what you should want in a quarterback.
I agree.
Because I would ask a Rams fan right now, would you rather have your quarterback throw for 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and maybe an interception and win the game, or throw for 380 yards, 4 touchdowns, and lose the game?
Just ask Eagles fans. They're used to that.
Yeah. But that's the argument that we're having. And this is why I say that it feels like fantasy football and betting on football and player props and stats, it's kind of ruined. Like, if they don't hit their line, they played like shit.
Well, listen, you called this game. If you go back to last week, did he not, Dylan? Mm-hmm. He called this game. He said low scoring. It'll be a 3-point game. You were right.
I didn't know a blizzard.
But also, we didn't know that. But also, though, if you go back to the beginning of the season when you guys were making predictions to how you thought everything would turn out, you did not pick your team to even win the conference. Okay, you picked them second. I picked them
third.
Or was it third? Yeah.
I picked the Dolphins.
You never. Yeah. I mean, you even took Drake May's rushing yards, thinking he was going to be running for his life.
Well, he kind of did,
the whole season,
and
he started out that way, but then he settled in. So it's just interesting how it all.
Well, and the stats you look. I mean, he finished. I mean, there's a reason why he got voted second team All-Pro.
Yep.
I mean, you don't just get that out of pity and out of,
no.
He played
especially not your second year in the league.
I mean, he finished, I think, 4th in total passing yards in the NFL. In an NFL right now where, it's not how it used to be when it came to the amount of passing yards quarterbacks are getting.
Nope.
He finished, I think, 3rd in passing touchdowns. And it's just, to take away what he did during the regular season, because he had a couple bad games in the postseason, but won them. And even like Jack, he sent in that tweet saying that they scored the least amount of points in a playoff stretch going to the Super Bowl. Well,
that's, I mean, probably part of that's true because they never make the playoffs scoring that little. It just so happened that their opponent scored even less. I'm sure that is also true. That a team's 3 matchups in the playoffs probably also scored a record low amount of points. So
and that could be true. And then you look at the other side of they've had to play literally the first time in NFL history of playing 3 top 5 defenses back to back to back in playoff games.
Yep.
So multiple things can be true. If you're playing really good defenses, you'd kind of assume that you're not going to put up 30, 40 points a game. And this is playoffs. Again, but everyone moves the goalpost how it fits their argument, and everyone wants.
They hate us because they ain't.
That's the definition of all this. Is I wish some people would just come out instead of saying, "Oh, it's the schedule. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's this."
It's because I hate the Patriots.
I don't like the Patriots.
I don't like the Patriots. I hate that they're in the Super Bowl again. I hate that my team has never been to the Super Bowl. I hate for Bills fans. I hate that. We had 5 years of winning the division, never got to the Super Bowl once, and now my franchise is a dumpster fire, and my owner's an absolute idiot of how he decides to. And you hired Josh Allen's best friend to be the new head coach. So where's that going to get you now?
And they're in talks to bring back McDermott as the
and that'd be hilarious.
Coordinator. That would be pretty funny.
So look, I think it's hilarious, and I love it. I love every second of it.
I'm sure you do.
I do. And
you're gonna enjoy this 2 weeks.
Yes,
I'm gonna enjoy.
He's enjoyed his entire life. We did this because we have another person that we play games with that is also a Patriots fan, and he told me this, and very true. Dawson has been celebrating a Super Bowl berth pretty much half of his cognizant life. They've made 10 Super Bowls.
25,
he's been
I thought they made 11.
for
a little bit less than
50%. Well, no, because dead ass. Like it's crazy. Because when do you gain consciousness? Like 4 or 5 years old.
Well, he used to sit and watch full football games at 5 years old with me. So he was pretty aware of football at a very young age.
So he's seen the Patriots make a Super Bowl about
probably 4 years old. Actually,
8 to 10 times.
Yeah, it's.
I understand that.
You were there in that. By the way, Dawson, you don't remember? You were there when Brady had that ball that basically the tuck rule. You were watching that game. You don't remember it, but you were watching it when it happened. That's right.
Look, and I understand all that. I understand that this is. I mean, after Tom Brady retired, I never expected to go to another Super Bowl in my lifetime.
And you'd be fine with it.
And I'd be fine with it. And I love watching football. I love watching good football. And it just so happens that, my team is good again. And it is, but I don't take it for granted. And I think both of you know that, to where I do have not like a Dave Portnoy where he,
oh God,
I think he kind of does that a little bit out of rage, because he gets a lot of satisfaction out of rage baiting the amount of people that he does. But no, it's great. It's fun. I mean, you should have. I was like a little kid jumping up and down. When Gonzalez got that interception, I think Haley was videoing me. She might have a video. We're not going to show it because that's not happening.
Why not? I'm going to get it from her later.
I think I have a video of you during the 28-3 comeback.
I have a video of that too. It actually popped up in my memories of me.
That might be worth posting leading up to the Super Bowl. That might be fun.
Maybe, just maybe.
It was a great game. I enjoyed every second of it. It's playoff football is so much fun to watch, especially when your team's in it.
Yeah.
Of just every single play matters. Every single little fourth down, penalty, whatever it is, it's a lot of fun. To go on to the next game though, like we kind of mentioned, Rams Seahawks. This was another fantastic game. I think everyone thought it would be with the 2 games that they played in the regular season.
Very evenly matched.
It is. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is.
Yeah, I think he had 10 catches for 150 yards and a touchdown. Very good game, and he's probably going to be the offensive player of the year if I had to guess. I mean,
him or Puka
winning MVP. I would probably give it to JSN.
But I know some of that stuff was voted for before the playoffs started, so That's never know.
Puka didn't finish. I know he had that one game against Seattle, ironically, where he had that 225 and 2 touchdowns. But Jackson Smith and Jigba had like his entire season. Puka missed like 4 games. He was healthy all year and almost broke Megatron's receiving record. I know he kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he needed to average like 130 yards every single game, but I'd give it to JSN.
Do you think
awesome.
Were they trolling the Rams though when the Seahawks were throwing the ball late to Cooper Kupp? Do you remember when they started? Like, was that on? Do you think that was like on purpose?
Maybe a little bit.
I know there's a ton of respect though between between Puka, between Matthew Stafford, between that whole organization with Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't know if I would read it.
I don't know. I kind of felt that way, but
no. Look, I think
Sam Darnold played the game of his life.
He did.
He played really good.
Kenneth Walker played really good. Now the one thing that I do of kind of jumping a little head to a matchup is the Patriots have done very, very good this whole season holding opposing running backs to under 100 yards, under 70 yards. So that will be, I think, the game plan of, might sound a little crazy when you have Smith and Jigba, but force Sam Darnold to throw the ball. Force him to make those decisions instead of relying on the run game and play action to open up. Because I know they do a ton of rolling out. They do a ton of moving the pocket. But I know he's in there somewhere. I know
he might not be though. Like remember he made a stop with Shanahan. Like he was in San Francisco for a season. So
and then he
was with O'Connell in Minnesota.
Yes.
So I don't know if that version of Sam Darnold exists anymore. I really don't.
Well, we did see it a couple times against the Rams the first time they played. Remember, he had like 3 or 4, but then they literally almost were able to still win that game, even with all the turnovers.
And then he did this against that same team, and it was, I mean, he had like 3 touchdowns. He had like 350 yards. So you guys are going to, if Seattle plays their best football, I don't think the Patriots win. I don't think, because you guys are going to need them to make mistakes.
Although
you guys
the
are not going to have to make mistakes.
The 12th man matters in Seattle, and I'll tell you what, if that game was on a neutral field, I don't know. I mean, the Rams played them right that day. They could have maybe won that game. I think it mattered. It was loud.
Well, it definitely does, but I do think, because the Patriots, I mean, obviously, I think everyone knows they're going to have to play their cleanest game of the season against this team. Like, seriously, any mistake is going to be detrimental to you guys. I think Seattle has no weakness. Their offensive coordinator is going to be a head coach, presumably after the season closes. But there's just so many weapons. But the Patriots match up with them nicely, especially defensively. So, I mean, you have a really good secondary.
Our D-line has played amazing as well.
We got fast cover linebackers, too, that'll help with the tight ends. It's a really good matchup. I think it'll be fun talking about next week. But, no, this game specifically, I didn't see Seattle being this at the start of the year.
No.
This is crazy.
I mean, we knew they had a great roster, and we knew they had, especially on defense, but it was just a question of
Darnold.
of how was Sam Darnold going to play, and it's turned out pretty damn good for him.
Yeah, I don't think we have a Seattle fan in our group chat. I don't think he has many complaints about this season and how it's gone. Maybe that one Rams game that you brought up where he threw.
Wait, isn't Jonathan?
That's
wait,
him.
so him and his brother are
Vanny's
Seattle
a Patriots fan.
I know. So they're going to be going at each other.
Vanny doesn't like the NFL.
Vanny's a Tom Brady fan.
Oh, okay.
No, he'll admit that. Vanny's a Tom Brady fan, and after kind of Tom Brady retired, he's definitely 100. He was watching college basketball over
the Bears game.
Over the Bears. Which Bears game?
It was the Rams.
Vanny, come on. He's not allowed on our show anymore.
We were talking about it, and he was like, I'm watching the Kentucky Wildcats basketball. And I said it. I was like, there's no shot you're doing that right now.
He's regular season college basketball.
Vanny's, did you tell Vanny,
over
party foul?
Professional playoffs.
He cannot be a guest for at least 6 months.
So Vanny is he's always been, he's a Brady fan. And naturally, he just kind of, does. But like me, yes, I was a Brady fan, but I'm a Patriots fan. So a little bit different. Look, I think, when you look at this game, I raised the question of kind of, it got asked, do you think Matthew Stafford is done? Do you think he comes back?
Especially after what McVay said in their press conference, because someone asked him that.
He's not done.
I don't think he's done.
I don't think he's done.
He's got a lot in the tank still.
I think
he's got at least 1 or 2 more years.
He's got a good team too. So like, why kind of waste that? Like,
they also don't have an answer at quarterback. If he retires, they're fucked. At least for 1 year, they're going to bring in a veteran and probably be fine. But no, I don't. No one on that offense wants Stafford to retire next year at all, and I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either. And like I said, you got a good young core group on defense still, so you have that. You still have Puka. They'll probably pay him this offseason if I had to guess. I would stay. If I was him, Devontae
is on a 2-year, like $30 million deal as well, something like that. So yeah,
you got some good running backs with Corum and Williams. Yeah. Still, your tight ends are really young with Ferguson. You still have Higbee.
They still have
Parkinson.
Yeah, Ferguson. That's right.
So I 100%. If I was Matthew, I'd look at it and go, hey, I've got maybe 2 more years at this.
On the flip side of it, though, the Niners will not be this injured next season.
Yes.
Seattle's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are going to have to hire a head coach at some point, and they have some pieces. But no, I still don't think he retires. Too good of an opportunity to kind of cement yourself above some other certain quarterbacks who only have 1 ring.
I agree.
Or he'll have the MVP after this season, probably.
Yeah.
I saw that during the playoffs. I know the voting finished, but I think it's just kind of funny that Stafford's MVP odds have skyrocketed since the playoffs started. I think he's at like 88%, and Drake Mays has like plummeted to 11%, which is like, I don't know how that makes sense if the playoffs don't matter about those votes.
And they don't.
About those votes. So I mean, it's betting purposes, but still.
I agree. No, look, and it's like, to go kind of on the Super Bowl, because I know the Seahawks won this game. We touch a little bit on it because it is a rematch, and I know
2015 rematch.
I remember because Jonathan, he texted and said, what did he say? He said, "Oh, may the best team win," and I sent him the meme of Malcolm Butler interception. So that's kind of, I've seen a lot of funny memes of war flashbacks of the interception.
Oh, Seattle's fine. That was going to be their 2nd Super Bowl in a row. They're fine. I promise they're fine.
But look, I think looking at it,
I remember that game too. How
the
upset you were. How down you were.
After
the game was over.
Yeah.
Because we were at the farmer's house.
Yeah.
And I remember you sitting there and you were just like,
thinking,
Marshawn Lynch is gonna
run it in.
And then all of a sudden he jumps up. It was so funny.
It was a pretty
the
crazy
memories of God.
Look,
you have more memories of Super Bowl wins than I have of playoff wins in my whole life.
I have a lot.
If I can sit and act like each individual scenario during my season this year was a Super Bowl, and I could add them up to Dawson's crazy resume.
That's
just not
like.
Super Bowls. But if I just collectively look at all the AFC crazy wins we had, just like, the Bengals won. What if that was in the Super Bowl? That'd be pretty cool. We can imagine. We can't really live out the reality.
I do have some pretty good memories of Super Bowls of crazy shit.
This is going to be a matchup. You think Malcolm Butler is going to get invited in to be a guest speaker?
No, you texted me and said Malcolm Butler should be the guest captain for the game for the Patriots. That would be hilarious.
I'll bet you they might do that.
That would be so funny if he was the honorary captain of that game.
Because when he retired, did he play for another team or did he?
He played for the Titans, I think, a little bit, and then I think he played for the Titans with Mike Vrabel, if I'm not mistaken. Malcolm Butler.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
that was his team after the Patriots.
Yeah,
then you know what? There's a relationship there.
That would be hilarious. That'd be so funny.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
No, I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think it's going to be a little more competitive than what people are saying, because I know the immediate reaction is, oh, well, this is the Super Bowl. Whoever wins this game is going to destroy.
Hope it's competitive. I don't
it
care
will be.
who wins as long as it's competitive.
I think the Patriots are too well coached to get completely blown out. I seriously do.
Talent does matter, though. And
it does.
The Patriots did seriously blow all of their expectations out of the water. And Seattle has, just a star-stud cast. Like, their front seven is just scary as hell. Your O-line is going to be the biggest part of the story. Will Campbell, I think we're on the learn how to play guard train next season, but He's stuck playing left tackle for the Super Bowl, and he's got some dogs to block.
Hey, to be fair though, he didn't allow a single tackle, a single a sack against what's his name, the number 15 for Denver, their best pass rusher.
He had one where he just completely whiffed.
He did.
With the ball.
Right.
The ball got out.
he had zero.
Yeah.
He didn't let a single sack, didn't let a single QB hit, whatever. So that was fine. But yeah, I do think I'm on the train of you might be learning how to play guard.
Your offensive line is going to have to put up just a masterclass against this defense, because that's the biggest part, because their secondary is incredible. You're not going to be able to just dink and dunk down the field with a bunch of short balls out in less than 2 seconds every time, because they will jump those routes.
Yeah.
And the Tariq Woolen's 6'4", Devin Witherspoon's great. So I'm very excited. This was, of the teams that were remaining, obviously the Rams would be fun, but I think this is a really cool matchup. I'm glad Denver didn't make it. It'd be a different story, I think, if Bo Nix even played. Just, I'd be happy with either the Patriots or the Broncos making it. But this right here, I think most people should be happy that this is the matchup we got.
And I will, we've been kind of hearing, we heard this about the Texans defense, and then we heard this about,
that's true,
about all these other defense, the Chargers defense. And so I think it's going to be a lot more competitive.
4 of the top 5 defenses played in the playoffs.
I'm telling you,
crazy.
It'd be the first time in NFL history, and the first time in NFL history that a team went 9-0 on the road. And I know you can kind of count the playoffs. Hey, so look,
cool
at some point, it's you can't sit here and say they got lucky.
No.
You don't get lucky in the National Football League. And
sometimes you do.
I mean, sometimes you do, yes. But consistently, for this many weeks in a row, it just, at some point the coin flips on the other side. And at some point you have to look at it and go, maybe it's not. Maybe they're just a good team, and they're really well coached. Yeah. The one advantage that I do think they have going into it is the experience of this moment when it comes to the coaches preparing their players for it.
Because McDaniel's there. I think that's a big part.
And, it's kind of funny. He said, someone asked, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to reach out to Harbaugh. And everyone was kind of clowning him, are you sure you want to reach out to Harbaugh? Have you seen what he's kind of done the past couple of years in big games? So I thought that was kind of funny.
Forget that Kenneth Walker exists.
Yeah. No, that is where I think the Patriots truly have the advantage, is the coaching, the situational of the moment, because of the coach they have and how many times he's been in this situation of Super Bowl and played in it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to a field goal, or less than 10 points, maybe less than 7 points.
Agreed.
It's not going to be a blowout. It could also be a very low scoring game, because say what you want, Patriots have great defense, Seattle has a great defense. You never know how these two quarterbacks are going to handle this moment, because they're both completely brand new to it. Sam Darnold, with kind of what we know Sam Darnold to be, Drake May, second year, 23 years old, you just never know. And who's going to make the mistakes? Who's going to take the risks? Who's going to make that game-changing play?
Darnold got to go to a Super Bowl in 23. He just didn't play. But that preparation is completely different, compared from a backup quarterback to what Brock Purdy was having to do.
Yeah.
So I do think, it'll be fun. It'll be a great conversation next week for sure.
It will. To get into 4th and long,
here we go.
On a 4th and goal.
I have a feeling
something happened.
I have a feeling I know what he's gonna ask.
Something happened yesterday that was just a little bit out of the ordinary.
No matter what.
Yeah, wasn't it out of the ordinary when Mike McDaniel in his first press conference literally dished on the Miami Dolphins and dished on Tua and basically said, I was going to draft Herbert anyway. Did you hear that, Dylan?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Well, what's funny, Jake brought it up. What's funny is now he's coaching the quarterback that the Dolphins could have drafted instead of Tua. Or should have drafted Tua.
Should have drafted. Imagine Herbert throwing to Tyreek Hill this whole time.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and somebody asked him a question, and what did he answer with, Dawson? He said,
someone asked him a question, and he said, that sounds like a head coach question to me.
There he is.
So,
I'm so glad he's out of
going to love not having to talk to the media after this moment. He's going to
what a loser. No, so that was actually not the big news that happened yesterday. So the big news, Hall of Fame, Bill Belichick denied, snubbed, whatever you want to call it. How is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Explain that to me.
There's really no
bitterness,
to be done. Yeah,
pettiness, jealousy, all of those adjectives.
Hate us because they
yes.
Well, it's like no matter what
crazy.
you think of him, no matter your opinion on him,
he's a first ballot.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. No questions. I mean, if ands or buts.
Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame. Jerry Jones.
No, it's
the Patriots have been to 11 Super Bowls since Jerry has been to a Super Bowl, and Belichick somehow isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer.
It's kind of a disgrace to the game because
it is.
If he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach, then who is?
I kind of fall back on this.
Like, will Andy Reid be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach? Probably, because he's loved by everyone.
Yeah, you got to follow the same rules for all of them. So if Bill doesn't make it, these other guys got to wait too.
If Bill doesn't make it, then who does?
And then the idiot they put in, though, did you hear about that story? No. That guy's been claiming for years that I was going to draft Brady, but we didn't draft him. And people are like, dude, you were never going to draft Tom Brady. And he's playing on that story. And for him to be in before Belichick is embarrassing.
I fall back on the one thing, like, in order to make the Hall of Fame, I just think about, can I tell the story of the NFL and the history of the game without this person? And if the answer is no, he's a Hall of Famer. And when he can, 8 Super Bowls, how many Super Bowls have there been?
He won 2, remember?
He's almost won a sixth of the Super Bowls.
And he's
been, and he's been coaching for 30 years? 25 as a head coach.
Yeah.
How is he not a head coach? And then you see Jimmy Johnson coming out in his defense. It's crazy.
The most decorated coach to ever coach an NFL team. Yeah. Probably the most playoff appearances, the most Super Bowl appearances, the most AFC championship appearances. Like all of those things he is number one at. If he's not a first ballot, then who is?
And it wasn't close either. That's the bigger part of the story, is that he was 10 votes shy. Like, he needed 50. I think he got 40. So there were at least 10 people that apparently don't like him or didn't think that was enough to make it in. I think Belichick came out and said, I guess 8 Super Bowls isn't enough, which, I'm glad he's taking it better than I would.
I thought Belichick said, so we're not on to Canton. I thought
no, we're not on to Canton.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
For the people that they let vote on that,
and the fact that it's not, or that it's anonymous, and that so Bill Polian, I'm sure you're very familiar with Bill Polian, former Bills GM during the time when they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Then he was the GM and the presidents of the Colts during the early 2000s when the Patriots' first dynasty started. Said that there was a report coming out that he was like the poster child for this, and kind of planted that seed in everyone's brain that Deflategate and Spygate should be the reason he doesn't make it. But he, after the fact, came out, after the report said he was pretty sure he voted for Bill, but could not remember for a certainty that he did.
What does that mean?
he was 95% sure that he voted for
you either
Bill.
Did or you didn't. There's no...
Maybe it's just because he's 90 years old.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah,
so here's the next part.
Why are you even voting anyway?
The next part of my question is I think this is bigger than just what happened. Okay, I think, is this how much people really do hate the Patriots?
Yes.
What's going to happen when Tom Brady... is Tom Brady
that's exactly
where I was denied first ballot?
That's what people were saying.
So does
this mean Tom Brady gets denied because he was a part of that and a part of the same Spygate and all this bullshit?
If he does.
I don't know what other proof
he should be unanimous. He should get all 50 votes or whatever it takes.
He shouldn't even need to get voted on. It should just be, here you go.
They should rename the Hall of Fame after him.
And I'm not even just saying that. If that happens, that just solidifies.
Well, did you hear the others? Vinatieri is also not in the Hall of Fame. How is he not a Hall of Famer? But Dylan, what you just said, I think is brilliant. If you are having a discussion about the history of the NFL, and you can have that discussion without mentioning a certain player,
don't need to
then they're not in the Hall of Fame. How can you not mention Adam Vinatieri?
Or
and he's got snubbed again.
That's crazy. Vinatieri's been eligible for a while at this point. It's been over 5 years, I think. It's pretty crazy. It's just not anything that I can comprehend.
So is Cam Little, because he has the longest kick, is he going to get in before Vinatieri?
This guy never hit a 65-yarder, so he can't be eligible.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the NFL.
It's a bad
and then you wonder,
if I was the NFL, I'd step in and go, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Like, I know we have our system, and I know we have but
you would think someone has to have like a veto card.
Like, hold on.
And be like,
the commissioner.
Let's revote.
Yeah, like, hold on.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, let's
what are we
try
doing?
this. Like,
Yeah,
what
we
are
need to
doing
revote.
right now? Like, we do understand what this guy is, right? And what this means for that's a great way of proposing the question, though, of what you said.
Yeah.
If you can't describe the NFL using or with that player, and if it's like, whatever, then, but he's played in,
you can't even begin to mention the NFL after the year 2000 without Bill Belichick. That's how important he was the last 26 years of football. So I agree. Well, not really 26 because he retired, not retired.
Well, so
he's now on to better things.
So before we get done talking about Bill, one last question. Is this because of him and what's happened with that girlfriend and North Carolina going back to college?
I don't really. I mean, I'm sure that most things that he does is under a microscope for these people because there is all of that bitter jealousy and just pettiness surrounding him. And I'm sure he's burned plenty of bridges between staff and, other people just because he's, I mean, Bill Belichick is an acquired taste.
I agree.
And through interviews, I mean, he doesn't seem like a terrible guy. Like, he seems like he's got a really good sense.
He was great when he wasn't a coach. Remember on all those podcasts?
But as a coach in a football room, when he's focused on one thing and one thing only, he's probably not the most enjoyable personality.
And that's why he won all the games he won.
Yes.
So
I'm sure he wouldn't change anything for those 8 Super Bowls.
No, I don't.
If it meant he made a couple more friends along the way, I doubt he gives a shit.
I agree. I do think though that he kind of gives a shit a little bit about this whole thing. I'm
sure he does, but at the same time, like, I think he knows in the back of his mind that, like, first ballot, it's just a term. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is, they may have your opinion on you, but no one's going to deny that you're, like, the greatest head coach of all time. Can't.
Well, we'll get to another
part of what your resume does for you.
Strange piece of news in the NFL at the end of the show. So we'll just save that for the end of the show because, I mean, if you didn't think it could get any stranger, We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But first, I know, we want to obviously get into some of these coaching hires and go for that, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, the coaching, some of the ones that, I mean, we could start off with yours.
One just happened, by the way, while we were filming the Browns.
Yeah, the Jags just lost their OC, didn't they?
No.
That might have happened too, but no, the Browns just hired Todd Monken, the old Georgia offensive coordinator when they won back-to-back natties, and then he was the offensive coordinator for Baltimore the last 2 or 3 years, is now the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think there were a ton of openings, so we don't have to go through all of them. But I want to know just individually, I guess, who was your favorite hire? Who's the best fit of these? I mean, there's 10 openings this year.
I was thinking about this because I was looking over the list. Personally, again, because I think I like the team. I like the Kevin Stefanski for the Falcons.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he's great offensive minded. I think he cares more about his players than I think people give him credit for.
Yeah.
To what he was able to do with Cleveland and just what Cleveland is and how they're run. I really, really like Stefanski. And it kind of goes on top of, I also really like Matt Ryan. So it's kind of a combination of both, where I think you got it right with Matt Ryan, and I think you got it right with Stefanski because of Matt Ryan.
Yep.
The other ones, though, like I think Mike McCarthy to the Steelers is laughable. I think Joe Brady to the Bills is also laughable. They just hired Josh Allen's best friend.
Yeah.
I think Robert Saleh
might end up being good because of the Brian Daboll hire at offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think that's a good pairing. And I think it's going to really pain me to say this, but I think the Packers hiring Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator is going to help their pass rush a lot. Because Jonathan Gannon, say what you want about the amount of talent he had on Philadelphia's team when they won the Super Bowl in 2022. He was the defensive coordinator. They had like a franchise record in sacks. It's it looks like a very similar defensive line in Green Bay. I mean, you're littered with first-round picks throughout the front seven, really. You've got same thing in the secondary as well. So I think Jonathan Gannon, as long as the Packers stay healthy on defense, they're going to be a top 3 unit next year. It's going to be really scary. Sucks for Bears fans and really the NFC North as a whole. But him and the other coordinator, not head coach, Mike McDaniel, is going to unlock Justin Herbert. Like I take Omarion Hampton might just be one of my keepers strictly off of this hire. Seriously. I think that offense, as long as their O-line stays healthy, the Chargers are going to be finally what they should have been. And, again, injuries play a huge part, but the Chargers are going to have a really, really good offense.
You think that Harbaugh, though, with his style of football, is going to allow that to happen?
Absolutely. Because Mike McDaniel's going to just marry the two. A great passing offense while also running the football a ton.
It's going to look like what the Dolphins offense looked like when he first was head coach.
It's a lot of zone runs.
Yeah, I mean, they were... Let's not kid ourselves.
With a quarterback that can actually run it.
I mean, they were a very good off. I mean, they beat the Broncos. They scored like 82 points on the Broncos, or however many points that was. That year.
Yeah.
So, and fantasy purposes, all that. I mean, it was you needed a Dolphins receiver on your team, and even Tua. He made Tua look like an all-pro quarterback. His first couple of years.
Don't be surprised as well if they go out and get him a deep threat in the form of Tyreek Hill, who will probably be cut by the Dolphins once free agency starts.
Oh, I think that is without question will happen. I don't know how they don't cut.
If Tyreek gets any of his speed back, it'll be very interesting to see where he lands.
I think, guys, I actually think the Dolphins head coach hire.
You like Hafley?
I think it was stupid.
Oh, stupid. Yeah, I agree.
I think it was stupid. I think we did not need another. OC, we didn't need another coordinator to come in, be a first-time head coach. Yes, he was in college, whatever.
Defensive guy. Do you guys have your coordinators hired yet? Because he will be probably calling the defense.
Well, my question to you, though, is who would you have rather got out of the guys who are available?
Jeez, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand where you're coming from.
Well, who did they interview? Like, did they try to get Stefanski? I don't think Stefanski would have gone there anyways, but like Jesse Minter, the guy that the Ravens hired, did you hear anything about guys that they were interviewing?
You know who they should have waited?
You should have promoted your DC.
And they should have got the guy that just finished playing, still playing, is Shula, Chris Shula.
So he apparently, I saw a report, I don't know how true this is, I never do, but apparently he bombed his head coaching interview with the Browns and like all interest kind of fell out after that. But I think the Rams offensive coordinator, I don't think it's like Shielhaas. Why not go after him? I don't even know if he was taking interviews while, the Rams were still in the playoffs, but unless you have your guy, like these other teams clearly did, I like the McCarthy hire for what it's worth. I think he's what they need, stability. And
he's what they like.
He's also what they like. That's like a perfect, just a perfect pairing for, Steelers.
Like he'll retire there. When he
will be.
When he gets told to leave and they say that he stepped down.
But seriously, I look at these head coaching hires and the only one where I'm thinking really is the Hafley one for the Dolphins. And it'll be interesting to see. I think their offensive coordinator and who they pick at quarterback is going to be the biggest part of the story, but they might be picking at the top of the draft again after next season.
It reminds me a little bit of like the Dan Campbell hire a couple, when the Lions.
Yeah, and maybe this is really good.
Who? Like, we're biting kneecaps off? Like, I know he didn't say anything crazy like that, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. But that's the question that I would ask is, I agree with you, but like, who else? Like, who else would you have rather really
Kubiak waited for the Seahawks,
maybe,
but
McDermott, maybe, but there are reports saying that he wants to take a year off of coaching, so maybe that was off the table immediately, and they knew that.
Try and dig up Tomlin out of the ground.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Well, but that you'd have to like trade for him because he was still under contract. So there's a lot of things that kind of went into it. But yeah, I do agree. To me, it's not the like, who is this? Like,
well, we still have. How do you think the Cardinals and the Raiders fans feel? They don't have a head coach yet. Those are the last two openings. Yeah. Who's left?
Well, or even what's his name? The offensive coordinator for the Commanders. Kingsbury.
Yeah, Kingsbury's still available. He would have been a nice option for Miami.
That's maybe the only one I could think off the top of my head would be Kingsbury for the offensive coordinator for, and you know what he did for Washington. He was a head coach before, and then he became the offensive coordinator for Washington. Went to the NFC Championship with a rookie, Jaden Daniels. So that's the one. Now that I'm thinking about it, to where I would have been.
Well, if they're going to be taking that quarterback.
So listen, I actually think the best tandem that happened was Stefanski and Matt Ryan. Because I actually will predict they will win their division next year. I'm going to predict it right now.
Well, Penix isn't going to be healthy. They will win their division.
They will be that good when he has the toys to play with that he'll have here in Atlanta.
Well, Kirk is going to stay probably. Penix isn't going to be healthy that knee injury was really bad. And so it's not even guaranteed that he's going to be playing next season. But I really do think that Cousins is going to stay. And I think Stefanski, that's probably part of the reason that he was so comfortable taking this job as well, is different from Cleveland. You have a fallback option that you know you can trust. He showed you at the back half of this year that if Penix isn't ready, you have a quarterback. You've got the skill set. You've got those skill position players. You've got a good O-line when they're healthy. The Falcons are going to be good.
So here's what's interesting.
And here's the other interesting. Before you go, guess who was with the Minnesota Vikings when Kirk Cousins was kind of doing what he was doing those couple years?
Was it Stefanski?
It was Stefanski.
Was he their OC? Or was
he was involved one way or another there?
He was on the team.
He was on the team, and so that was also a poll that some people are saying that's why Stefanski really liked Atlanta, because he knew he had the veteran quarterback he's worked with a lot, and then he's got Penix in his back pocket when he's healthy. So that's why I say I really like the Falcons and that hire the most.
And the football mindset, getting out of the boardroom, because I don't know if you heard what Matt Ryan said. He said that Miami game that we went to, remember how shitty that day was weather-wise? He said, I would have kept the roof open. Don't care about the fan experience. Let them get rained on. Let them get cold. I would have never put the lid on the building and let the Dolphins do what they did to the Falcons that day. Yeah. So, you got Matt Ryan now that's going to think more like a football person.
Yeah.
And I think Atlanta fans, some of you guys that you like that roof on, it's going to get opened up during certain games and only to benefit the team.
But not even like just hearing Matt Ryan talk. He gets it.
He gets
it. Like,
well, sure.
I think, a lot of the Falcons fans, especially around here, they hate Matt Ryan for some reason. When it's like, you can argue that, I don't
know why they don't hate Shanahan for that.
I know.
You can argue that Matt Ryan is the best quarterback that this city has ever had.
Oh, it's no question.
Don't give me the whole...
Besides Vic.
Michael Vick was just really fun to watch, and that's why people gravitate towards him, because he was running the ball and making these...
He had a cannon.
That too, but when it comes down to it, Matt Ryan, the best quarterback they've ever had. And now he's leading your organization, and he... is very professional about it in the conversation he has and how he's gone about it. Of the stuff that I've seen, I think they're in a, we were talking about how there could be a couple teams. There's always a couple teams who finish last or finish really shitty that end up making the playoffs the next year. We saw that a ton this year with the Patriots, with, the Bears.
Well, it's been, I don't remember how many years in a row, but I think it's like 4 to 6 teams are new in the playoffs every year.
Mark my words. I think the Falcons will be in the playoffs next year.
I think they will. And the Buccaneers just went out and hired the Falcons offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, who Atlanta fans, I'm sure you guys know from watching 98, whichever, Falcons, Atlanta radio broadcast it is. We're not a fan of Zach Robinson when he was here. So
how does he not know 92.9?
92.9. 92.9. Because I'm not an Atlanta fan. I don't listen to radio.
But it's just fun hearing their take.
Fan. It is fun to hear some of the stuff.
Especially after a loss.
It is fun.
Falcons Mondays.
To wrap up today's show, we kind of mentioned it. Chris kind of mentioned it. Talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl.
Since it is this week, it's now been... Pro Bowl is dead. Pro Bowl has been retired for years, ever since they moved it out of Hawaii. But now that it is in its 3rd year of being a flag football game, it's even more dead than it has ever been. And on top of the fact that we now have the NFL's 31st ranked quarterback being listed as a Pro Bowl alternate over Trevor Lawrence and a few other AFC quarterbacks who probably deserved it, over Shedeur Sanders, who I am a known supporter of, but I stop it right here. Like, what the... And I think very telling that I don't think Dion has come out and just, like, praised this or like is overly excited. I think he's thinking the same thing. Like, what the fuck? Let my son earn it. Like, you're taking that away from him. I feel bad for Shedeur.
Yeah.
Like, you should be mad that this happened. Oh my God.
So what I said this to you of how to kind of fix this. I think you could still have the Pro Bowl. You have, because I know a lot of people opt out and the people make the Super Bowl, obviously. So you have that list of the people who make the Pro Bowl, but it's a separate list to the people who go and play in this flag football game. Like you have your Pro Bowl list, you have, because I know that goes on, at the end of careers of, hey, I was an 11-time Pro Bowler or all that stuff. So I get that's kind of important, and I know it's lost a little bit of its value because of the way they've handled it, like we're seeing now with this whole Sanders thing.
Even without Sanders, dude, I mean, like, you could probably say just as much as I can that there were a lot of players that should have made the Pro Bowl this year and got not like snubbed just for bigger names who have Pro Bowls under their belt that people know more of. It was just there were a few Jags players. It's just ridiculous.
I agree with you. But my way to fix it is you have your list of no matter if they're in the Super Bowl, if they opt out, if not, they're the Pro Bowlers. And I know that's still how it works and you just have your alternates.
Yeah.
But I think you have a separate list to go and just
they shouldn't have fun the title and Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Like Tyler Huntley is a Pro Bowler.
Yes, like you just go and play and have fun, be on TV for however long it is, create a little bit of entertainment because I know that's what it's ultimately about, and call it a day. That's what it should be, and you shouldn't be considered a Pro Bowler. It should just be, hey, it's the week before the Super Bowl. Some of the best players in the NFL come together for one last, of the teams that did make the Super Bowl to play in this game or to do the little skill competition and just be there for entertainment. Well, that's what it should be.
The skills would be fun. I totally agree. It's like in college when your first team all conference, second team all conference.
Like
first team all conferences can be all Americans. Second team all conference can't be. So you almost take the all pro, the second team all pro, right? Because there's first and second team, right?
Yeah.
So first team all pro would almost be your Pro Bowlers in title.
Or your first and second team all pros.
Because this is a marketing company, it's an entertainment company. Let's not forget the NFL is about entertainment. Let's bring in the players that get the most eyes, which is why they brought in Sanders, right? Bring in all the fun receivers, like have some fun, maybe even bring in some of the older quarterbacks that are retired, whatever, that just want to go back there and sling it.
Or
flag football is a big deal right now, so let them just go have fun.
Hear me out. Why don't we just make the first and second team all pros the Pro Bowl selection, since it's NFL's different from other. We don't have an all-star break. It's not in the middle of the season. So why not just make first team and second team all pros, the Pro Bowl list, and then what we talked about last year, the Player of the Year awards gets implemented above the Pro Bowl and the all pro lists, where you disband the other awards, where it's like MVP. I've always been a spokesperson for this. It's just the NFL does not have an accurate award system to effectively just spotlight all of their talent that they have. So like we talked about it last year, I will just reiterate it. You have 5 all pros across the O-line first team. You've got 5 all pro second teams. Those are your best of the best. Those are your Pro Bowl list. One player from that is your best O-lineman or your O-lineman of the year. Same thing with quarterback, same thing with running back, receiver. It's not that hard. I think that's a way better. I think players would take more pride in that. I think it makes first team All-Pro and second team All-Pro a lot more important because you get rewarded more at the end of the year. You go to Orlando, you visit with fans and stuff like that. I just don't get how you can be an All-Pro and not a Pro Bowler. That makes no sense. That makes 0 sense. That is literally it shows us that the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. So why not change it? You're not bound to this. Like, you're not.
They just said it out loud. You're right. It is a popularity contest because Shedeur Sanders is now a Pro Bowler.
but to that though, it's not like they had a revote all of a sudden after they had all the opt-outs and it's like, okay, we're going to revote. Like the NFL decided to put Sanders in there.
Yeah.
So yes, like Travis Kelce and all these guys, when it first opens up, they get all the votes. But then, as guys opt out, guys who make the Super Bowl, that's where you get the alternates. And that's where it becomes a little like, well, how are we really picking those alternates? Like,
that's why it shouldn't be just because you're a Pro Bowler that you're expected to go. Put the people on the field. People want to watch and have fun and
but
be
that's what Dylan is saying, is that's like just like use the fan vote as in like the players you want to go play in the flag football game. Not like to get the award of a Pro Bowler.
Like the baseball does. You vote when you go to the stadium, right? You vote. It used to be you had to vote in the stadium. That was the only time you could vote for the All-Star, game.
Yeah.
And now I think you can vote online or some of the other stuff you can do.
There's like 4 different levels of it. Like
it's just
if you get through the first phase, then you go to the second phase, and then the third phase of all the.
But you could do the same kind of thing and at least make it more entertaining. But
there's a way to change it and make it more meaningful because the Pro Bowl is just slowly starting to slip. I remember growing up that like when the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii, players used to take that game semi-seriously as well. Like it was a fun game to watch. It was a big deal.
Then all of a sudden one year, like there was no tackling and it was a joke. And then even the announcers like, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. And then it stopped.
It's just, it's become a joke. And I don't think you need to keep forcing it anymore. I think you'd get a lot more out of it if you just changed it and changed how you name the players and just how does Trevor Lawrence, who is a finalist for MVP, not a Pro Bowler, over Shedeur, unless he just turned it down.
He probably did, and that's probably why.
He probably did, but we don't know about that. But it doesn't look great. The way you're presenting it makes it feel like you skipped over all of these other quarterbacks to genuinely go and get Shedeur and make him your alternate. It just, as someone who I like Shedeur, but putting myself in Shedeur's shoes, this would piss me off.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't earn that. I would feel like I didn't earn that. And now, whenever I actually do earn it, it's going to be my second Pro Bowl. And everyone's going to hold that first one over my head. It's like,
maybe this will be, look, the watershed moment happened years ago when they stopped tackling. Yeah. Maybe this will be a watershed moment where they're like, look, we have to change this once and for all and make it the honor, not the actual activity.
I feel like people have been saying it for years too.
How long will it take for them to act on it, though? Is the question. We'll see. Maybe some higher up will see this video, and we'll see.
Come on the show. Tell us why you love the Pro Bowl.
Oh no. They won't. They'll just they'll see the idea and be like, Players of the Year. And then we'll see it 5 years later, and we'll still be here.
Well, think about how great that would be to be the MVP running back,
like, hey,
the MVP quarterback.
That's
the
what
MVP,
I'm saying. How cool would that be?
Or not even the best MVP, just like the best running back of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
you
like when it gets down to
players wouldn't care about that.
It's even like the Heisman in a way. Yeah. Like how does the Heisman come down to a running back or a quarterback?
College football has those though. They have receivers of the year, linebackers of the year, quarterbacks of the year separate from the Heisman. Why can't we have the same thing? More awards. Recognize more people that are really good at
more awards, but more meaningful.
Yes,
awards.
Way more meaningful.
Yes.
Easier to, it's just vote on, and it makes sense. Like you said, you should not be comparing a running back's importance to a team with a quarterback's importance to a team. You'll pick quarterback every time for the most part.
Because it is the most important position on the field.
That is why MVP has been a quarterback award.
But the quarterback alone can't win a game. This is also reward, award those other positions.
Well, Players of the Year.
Football is the ultimate team game, and we've seen that. I mean, look at the Patriots. We've been talking about the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I mean, their quarterback hasn't played the best. He's played enough, and their defense is playing, and they're still winning. So it's more
Players of the Year.
More awards, but more meaningful awards.
So is it too early, Dawson, to ask who you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I think it's going to be a defensive.
You better say the Patriots. It's time.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I really don't. I know a lot of people are painting it that way. I think it's going to be the battle between the two rookie quarterbacks going into this game, because none of them have
both playing really good defenses.
Both of them haven't been in this situation ever. So the Super Bowl is different, and I think I didn't obviously, but I think any player going into or has played in a Super Bowl will tell you, this isn't just a normal game. Like, you could sit here all you want and say, we're just, we're gonna play like we played all year. This isn't just any other game. With every hype that goes into it, media day, all the celebrities, the just extra everything.
A week long.
A week long. The halftime show being like 30 minutes to where instead of a 10-minute halftime, now it's 30 minutes. Like it's going to.
How many top defenses have the Seattle Seahawks played this season? Because we know how good their defense is.
Well, they played
how many top offenses have they played would be a better question.
But then on the flip side, how many tough defenses had they had to play?
Well, I mean, they
as
played
many
the
as the
NFC
Patriots,
West.
because it's going to be both sides of the ball. It'd be interesting to look at that over the next couple of weeks.
It's gonna be a chess match, and like I think the one advantage that the Patriots do have is the coaching and the experience that they have.
This is also, I think, the third time ever. I think that it's a Super Bowl matchup between Mike and Mike. There's Mike
funny.
McDonald and Mike Vrabel.
That's funny. Look, it's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to come down to the last possession, and it's going to come down to whichever quarterback I think steps up.
Sees less ghost.
Yeah. Whichever quarterback steps up to the moment the best.
No fumbles, no interceptions.
No fumbles, no interceptions.
Yes.
Punting when you need to, playing the field position game.
Take your points.
Taking your
points. We went to a game in Gillette against the Seahawks.
Yeah, that is the one game that I've been to at Gillette.
Lost.
It was against the Seahawks. It was Sunday night, and they lost to
Cam Chancellor.
What should have been called a pass interference on Gronk in the back of the end zone.
Oh, no.
But yes, that is the game that I was. And that was the year after we beat them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they played that video of Malcolm Butler before the game started.
They were running out of the tunnel.
And then we lost,
cool.
and then the Patriots did win the Super Bowl.
And then we won the Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. You can ask Dylan, you can ask all my friends that we talk about sports with. I in no way, shape,
He picked
or form.
them to finish fourth in his own division this year.
Third.
Guys.
I picked us to finish above the Jets.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But I picked the Dolphins
Jets
to be better, and I picked obviously Buffalo to win the division. I had no expectations. But I will say too, in a couple of our group chats, I said on record, I went back to try to find it, but I couldn't. If the Patriots were going to do good this year, it was going to fall completely on Drake May's shoulders.
Great.
And what he did during the regular season is exactly what that was. And he's kind of taken a little bit of a backseat, like everyone has seen. And that's the other part is most people have only watched these 3 games that the Patriots have played.
For the most part.
And then all the other games in the regular season, they just hear that they had an easy schedule. And they did this, and they did that. And, Drake May's actually ass, and he was the beneficiary of an easy schedule, and that's why his stats look the way they do. Which 2 things can be true.
2 things can be true, because it was, I think, historically one of the easiest schedules in the world.
Of course.
You don't get to where you are unless you're a good team.
I agree.
If you're also a bad team, you're not winning all of those games. So it's...
Completely agree. Especially playing some of the defenses that you played in the playoffs, as it's never happened before, beating 3 straight top 5 defenses, and this would make it 4 straight. Never happened ever.
That stat's
9-0 on the road. If you win against Seattle, it'd be 4 straight top 5 defenses in a row in a playoff stretch to win a Super Bowl.
It'd be pretty crazy.
And at the same time, though, it's like, who gives a fuck? They're in the game. Your team isn't.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like I said, Matthew Stafford, cool, you threw for almost 400 yards. You're watching the Super Bowl from your couch.
Sure. Stats don't matter.
Winning the game is the ultimate thing that should matter, and I don't know why we've gotten away from it. Well, I do know, because everyone is so concerned with social media and fantasy and betting, and like I kind of mentioned. But it's going to be a great game. We'll go all, obviously, as the league goes on, with injuries and with stuff that, we'll really dive into it next week.
Let's get Travion Henderson some snaps. How about that?
Yeah, he was only in for, I think I saw like 3% of snaps.
Had 19
but
carries
to be
the
quite,
entire
I do owe an apology
to Ramondre.
Stevenson.
Yes, you do.
Didn't you say he should never touch the ball again in his life?
Yeah, you did.
What did you say about him?
So
and he's going to be the lead back next year again.
After the Steelers game, when he fumbled 2 times in the red zone, and that was the reason why we lost that game. I said that he should never touch the ball in a Patriots uniform ever again. I couldn't have been more wrong about that statement.
Yeah.
Because he has played very, very good the back half of with pass blocking and just being that hey, we're going to give you the ball. We need you to protect it. Go get 5 yards, get a first down. Mm-hmm. He's done that to a T. So, Ramondre, I'm sorry.
I still love you.
just don't fumble in the Super Bowl. Don't make me regret that.
But if he does, oh no, it's right back to
get the fuck off my team.
You're done.
It's been an amazing year for me as just a fan of, not expecting anything. And now I kind of understand what it feels like for fans who are teams that all of a sudden they're just like really good and go to a Super Bowl, to where back when we were, with Tom Brady, it was like
every year.
Okay, when's the AFC Championship game?
Yep.
Like when's the Super Bowl? Like where's the Super Bowl? Like you know what I mean?
Where are we playing in February?
Yeah, are we going to be at home? Are we going to be away?
Do you think Vrabel did what Belichick used to do and gave a schedule out of the Super Bowl before
Tom
the
Brady
season started?
used to do that.
That's right, Brady used to do that.
Because Edelman told a really because they used to train in the offseason, if he had his calendar and he had circled of when the Super Bowl was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a fun year, and I think I'd give it probably a 60-40, 40% chance the Patriots win on paper right now with just the roster and
It'll
just
probably
everything.
be similar betting odds too.
Well, right now it's only a 4.5 favorite, or the Seahawks are 4.5 favorites, so it's not going to be this blowout that everyone thinks it's going to be when it comes to what Vegas is saying.
What color's the Gatorade going to be?
And is it in SoFi?
That's
is the game in
No,
SoFi
it's in
Stadium?
where the 49ers play.
Santa Clara.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep, San Francisco. Well, almost San Francisco.
So we'll dive into that all next week. But yes, thank you again. Let us know why you hate the Patriots. If it's because just we're the Patriots, and if you still like Drake May.
They probably beat your favorite team one or two times in the playoffs as well.
A couple times.
Probably.
Especially them Bills fans. I see all this.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yep. So funny. But no, yes, thank you again. That is episode, 74? 75. I75 Live. Next week, we'll dive in full into the Super Bowl, going into that. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Sure, it's been real, guys.